How strong is air?
Air. Out of all of the dangerous elements in the entire universe, one of the strongest is one you can't see. The gas that can cause all of us to die, but we need every breath to live. God's way of creating life. The universe's exhale. How strong?
The universe's exhale? Oh my gosh, she's already cooking. Okay. Do you use Chat GPT to come up with these bars? There's no way you can keep coming up with bars after bars after bars. There's no way, bro. I'm accusing you of using AI for some of these. I don't care, bro. I'm a hater.
Every breath to live. God's way of creating life. The universe's exhale. How strong is... Air isn't just emptiness, it's an army of invisible warriors, 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, the rest a volatile mix of argon, carbon dioxide, and trace elements, billions of molecules per breath, colliding at speeds of over 500 meters per second. To the untrained eye, it's nothing, but to science, it's the silent engine of life and death. At sea level, air exerts pressure on everything around us, about 14.7 pounds per square inch. Sounds small? Multiply that across the human body, and that's over 20,000 pounds of force constantly pressing against you. And the only reason that...
Wow. I've never thought about that. That's actually insane. He's making me use my brain. I ain't got that much, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that big, but he's making me use it. And that's what I like about his videos.
And the only reason that you don't feel it is because you're used to it. But in reality, you're literally being crushed by the sky every second. Now let's scale this up.
Is that like gravity or something different? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that we're getting crushed and pushed down, but it's like air and gravity. Nah, okay. That's why I don't even try to sound smart sometimes. I just sound dumb. Air pressure, there it is. Air pressure, gravity.
And the only reason that you don't feel it is because you're used to it. But in reality, you're literally being crushed by the sky every second. Now let's scale this up even higher. Air pressure powers hurricanes, the strongest natural weapons on Earth. A Category 5 hurricane can unleash winds over 157 miles per hour or 252 kilometers an hour. The wind doesn't need a blade. It slices with velocity. Wind speed can be a gentle breeze or a planet-punching uppercut. Tornadoes are created when warm, moist air rises and cool air falls, creating a spinning air current inside the cloud. Tornadoes can tear apart cities with speeds over 300 miles per hour. That's enough to launch a truck through a building. Jet streams, high-altitude air rivers flow at over 250 miles per hour, subtly steering the path of storms, weather systems, and even planes. And then there are shock waves. When something moves faster than the speed of sound, 343 meters a second, air slaps reality so hard, it...
Sonic boom!
Every time a jet breaks the sound barrier, air screams in a thunderous applause. Air has no edges yet cuts like a god. Compressed air when focused can pierce through metal. That's how pneumatic tools and industrial...
Oh, I never even realized that. That's air? Damn. I think I've seen something like that on TikTok. Air can cut through metal? That's actually kind of crazy, bro. Pressurized air is so strong that can cut through metal?
Air has no edges yet cuts like a god. Compressed air when focused can pierce through metal. That's how pneumatic tools and industrial cutters work. Not with blades, but with air pressure sharp enough to split atoms of resistance. Have you ever heard of a gas laser? That's air made into light. Light turned into a beam that cuts through concrete. Sandstorms are just air literally kicking up dust and weaponizing it, moving so fast that particles strip paint from walls and flesh from bone. Air doesn't always carry mercy, sometimes it carries teeth. Air is the medium which shockwaves travel, explosions expand, and sound is born. No air, no sound, no heat transfer, no breath, no light.
Oh, that was a fire edit. That was a fire edit. Oh, no, that was fire. That was fire.
Sometimes it carries teeth. Air is the medium which shockwaves travel, explosions expand, and sound is born. No air, no sound, no heat transfer, no breath, no life. Air is the gatekeeper of respiration, the reason mitochondria keeps your blood humming with energy. Every breath you take is a pact with the unseen king, and every exhale is a prayer sent back to the atmosphere.
Every exhale is a prayer sent back to the atmosphere. Hey, bro, sometimes I don't know what he be saying, but I come here just to hear the bars, and I love it, bro. I love it. I'm never disappointed. I'm never disappointed hearing this man speak, bro. Yo, that's motherfucking bars, bro. I feel like I've learned way more from Official Divine videos than I learned in college. Like, I learned about a lot of stuff in college to do with like cybersecurity, but when it comes to Official Divine, I've heard words that I've never seen before. I appreciate this man for real.
Air can hold up 1.2 million pound steel birds in the sky, and even more impressive, the clouds themselves. The average cumulus cloud weighs over 1 million pounds or 500 tons.
A cloud weighs that much? I know this sounds stupid, but I did not know clouds had weight. When we be flying through it, we be flying through weighted clouds. Do you not know that I haven't been in school in a long time? So if I remember any of this stuff, it slipped my mind. Bro, I forgot that clouds had weight, bro. I forgot. When y'all get old and y'all start having dementia, y'all gonna start realizing that a lot of things slip your mind. I don't even know what Pythagorean's theorem is anymore. It's so many things I didn't fucking forgot, bro.
Clouds themselves. The average cumulus cloud weighs over 1 million pounds or 500 tons. That's the weight of 100 fully loaded African elephants suspended in the sky.
Why did he use African elephants as the example? Like, I just feel like there's a little bit of racism in there. I don't know why. African is actually insane, bro. Out of all the elephants to use, why did he use African elephants, bro?
That's the weight of 100 fully loaded African elephants suspended in the sky, just hovering over your head like it's nothing. So how do they float? It's air, but not just any air, an atmospheric ballet of physics and unseen forces. You see, clouds are made up of tiny water droplets or ice crystals that spread across miles. These droplets are microscopic, and even though they weigh a lot collectively, they spread out so thinly and evenly that the surrounding air pressure keeps them buoyant. Volcanoes erupt, air spreads the ash, stars explode. The remnants pass through cosmic gas. Even the Big Bang happened in a sea of subatomic particles, many of which would later become the foundations of what we call air. Even the strongest punch, whether from a boxer or literally anyone else, means nothing if it doesn't cut through air first. A nuclear bomb detonating in a vacuum would be all bark and no bite. But with air, that's a 2 kiloton slap that shatters glass 10 kilometers away and liquefies organs from shockwave reverberation. That's air being weaponized. That's the invisible becoming invincible.
That's basically what I was saying. Air can use anything around it to make it more powerful. Air might be the strongest element if you really think about it. Air might be the strongest element. It can use anything around it to help weaponize it and become stronger. That is actually a cheat code, bro. No wonder Avatar Aang was one of the strongest avatars. They had to get rid of them niggas, bro. They had to get rid of the whole air village or that whole air nation, bro. It makes sense. It was too strong. Air is too powerful, bro.
That's the invisible becoming invincible. In mythology, gods use wind to part the skies and level kingdoms. In reality, the jet stream has more energy than 10,000 nuclear bombs, constantly reshaping the skies. Air can fuel wildfires, snuff out candles, lift steel, or suffocate armies. No matter who or what you are, one thing is in common. Air is always part of the equation. We need it to survive, but in the wrong conditions, it's our executioner. You can drown in water. It's not the liquid that kills you.
It's the lack of air. Oh my gosh, yo! Air gotta be the strongest. Air has to be the strongest, y'all. Y'all have to listen to what he's saying. Without air, we're not surviving. All these other elements, they not surviving without air. Cause look, fire can't even exist without air. So air has to be the strongest, bro. Now the water thing, I don't know. Water and air might be what, but I know for a fact, fire cannot be air. It can't even exist without air. Water can't exist without air. Oh yeah, air's the strongest.
But you're walking on land. Walk on Venus, and the air doesn't just sit on you. It crushes, melts, and burns. Made of mostly carbon dioxide with sulfuric acid clouds above, now entering into the realm of the gods. Jupiter, no solid ground, just layers upon layers of crushing gas. As you fall deeper, the air grows denser and more violent, until it becomes liquid under pressure. The winds on Jupiter rage at 300 plus miles an hour, endless hurricanes the size of Earth itself, like the Great Red Spot, a storm that's been howling for centuries, but this is air still holding back. Overall, air
still holding back. Boundless. Let me go to my little list real quick. Oh my God, it's the strongest thing. It's the strongest thing. Oh yeah. I gotta watch the other videos back to see how strong the other elements are, but boundless is literally the highest on my list. So air is undefeated. I have a little secret to tell y'all. Whole time, the reason why I wear bonnets and whatnot is because I'm an airbender. I can't show my tattoo, you know what I mean? I can control the air. You're trolling with boundless?
like the Great Red Spot, a storm that's been howling for centuries, but this is air still holding back. Overall, air would scale to boundless with irrelevant speed. And shout out to Cole who dropped 50 to sponsor this video. In the end, this is the power we take in with every breath, because this strength is something you literally don't see every day. And all of creation needs it to exist, because out of all of the elements, this one can blow away the sun. So take a deep breath, because that was your last one.